Hey guys, welcome to Basement Philosophies. And I still don't have a good introduction. And I say still because this is about the millionth time that I have tried to record an episode. I don't like all the other ones. I don't like what's happening. It's like I'm learning really so much about myself. And it's just all the other ones, they just don't seem authentic. You know, it's like I'm trying to not necessarily be someone I'm not, just I'm trying to give out information that I think people will like. And I don't need to be worried about that. And I am. And nobody's even listening to this crap. So it's not crap. I like it. Like, it's fun for me. But that's my issue now. So annoyed because I could have a full-blown podcast going right now had I just published every other thing that, I've recorded. But here I am doing this again, and I don't know, the other ones, I know I can't always do that, and I know there's something inside me that I'm struggling with, probably just scared, procrastinating, or whatever. But either way, that's where I am right now. I'm a little echoey. I'll probably have to get a new microphone one day, but not anytime soon because, well, I ain't money. But I moved into the new place. It's really fantastic. It's so beautiful, a little bigger. The ceilings are higher. I don't know. I like it. It's fun for now, but, I'm always a country girl at heart, so living in the heart of downtown, I don't know, it's very different. It's not hard, it's different. The only hard part is my truck and the parking garage here. And people are really big assholes in that parking garage. They're mad at my truck, and I'm mad at them for driving so fast. So it's just a hate-hate relationship in that parking garage. And literally, it'll take, if I get to the apartment, by the time I pull into the garage, get to my parking spot, and get up to, my apartment, it's more than 10 minutes. So it's quite the journey. It's funny though, because, it doesn't help with me not wanting to ever leave the house. When I had my own house, I lived by myself, and, nobody was around except me and my mom when we would hang out, or if my dad was in town, I would be with them because I was right next door to them. I'd never leave my house. It was perfect, and I loved it. Not for any reason. It's just I don't like to leave the house. And I still don't like to leave the house, but that parking garage gives me a reason. I'm just like, oh, I don't want to go out. I got to drive my truck out there. Ugh. I have to wake up and prepare myself. Tomorrow I have to go to the store to get a baby gift, and I'm just already trying to prepare myself. So I want to leave extra early just so nobody's awake yet, and I can just go through the garage without any problems. But I know those are first world problems, but hey, when you're a country girl like me, you're not used to that stuff. And I thought maybe I'll start doing this thing where what are the funny things that I see in the city that are funny to me as someone that's never lived here. Well, this isn't the best one. There's a lot. Now, I'm sure I'll make a list of what I see, but one of the funniest ones is when people walk their dogs. So I know everywhere you go, you have to pick up your dog's poo and all that. I never did that because we had a yard and, it was so big, the dogs just go. But that's not the funny part. That's just something I've noticed. It's weird. But, I noticed people are getting a lot of puppies now because with the quarantine and everything, you need a companion. And I love what's happening in, people are going to shelters and they're adopting these animals, and I love that that's happening. But I noticed that a lot of people have puppies, and you see these people because you all live in the same building, and I live on the top floor, so I'm in the elevator a lot. And I see a lot of people with these puppies are learning to be on leashes. So my dog, when she was alive, she never was on a leash. And then I tried to do it and she was not having it, right? Because I never tried as a puppy. She's not going to do it when she was older. But these puppies, they'll be walking down the street or walking on the sidewalk, whatever. And they're just like chewing at their leashes. And you should just see it. It's the funniest thing. I need to get a video of it, but you know, I have to ask permission. I don't like to talk to strangers, but it's really funny because they're just like fighting with this leash and their owners are like, can you just go to the bathroom, please? It's so funny. So that's a funny thing that's happening in the city right now. So I'll keep sharing those things, but a lot of people live in the city. So it's just kind of like me, like from a country girl's perspective. But anyway, that's one of the things. But so lately I've just kind of been struggling with this. I want to do this podcast. I want to make it happen, but yet I will record something and I'm not telling anybody about it. And then I'll not ever post the second episode because I think it sucks. And I think it's because I'm not really, being me, I think. Maybe. I don't know. It's just such a struggle because, I have so much internal crap going on and I'm just wondering, how do I get past this hump? So that's really what I've been working on. Plus I have lots of schoolwork. My second class just started and so that's going to be fun. And, I'm just kind of somebody kind of contacted me about a job, but, I haven't really heard back. And then I'm like, I wish I could make money a different way, not in an illegal or gross way, just like in a different way than going to a 9-to-5 job because it's just, I don't know. Obviously I don't believe in that or something. I don't really know. But, but then at the same time, it's nice to not be broke and it's nice to not put that burden all on my boyfriend, I don't know. It's just weird times. 2020 is weird. I don't know, if anybody else thinks so, but they're weird. And it's so weird for so many different reasons. I've never really been the person to have a opinion that people agree with, and I've always been really weird and I'm okay with all that. It's just, when I talk to family members that I love and I would just die for them and then they disagree with me, but they want to fight with me too. I'm just I don't want to fight with you because I love you. Can we just disagree and just move on? I don't know where this whole mentality came from where you, if you disagree with me, we're done. What is this canceling of people? I think that's what they're calling it. And I think it's the most insane thing I've ever heard. I respect everybody's opinion. I respect everybody's beliefs, even if I don't agree with them. But hey, sometimes the whole COVID thing, the mask thing, that's a very hot topic right now because there are so many people that do believe in it and there's so many people that don't. If you want to wear a mask, I say go for it. If you feel safer, do that. But I don't want to wear a mask. So I get a lot of shit for that. And it's just weird because I'm not giving you shit for wearing a mask, but you're going to give me shit for not. If your mask works, then it works, and I don't have to have one. But, that doesn't go to say that I don't care about, the elderly. My uncle works in a hospital. He has to, be around those COVID patients. I don't want him to get sick, but, wearing a mask is not going to keep me from getting someone sick. And I know that. And and I hate getting blamed for that because I don't really listen to the news, and I'm especially not going to listen to what the news tells me or what the government tells me. Like, anybody that knows me knows that I don't listen to anything. I don't listen to people. I don't take orders. I don't do that. I don't like it. It's why I struggle in the work environment, because I don't like I can do my job the best that I can. But as soon as someone's being out of line or nitpicky or just, maybe not a good boss or, things like that, it sticks with me. And I kind of I'm just like, why am I doing this? I don't need to be here making this company rich. I don't know. It's just really weird the way my brain works, and it's not always the best, but but I think that's because I'm meant for something else, and I'm trying to find that something else. And in the meantime, I'm really broke doing that. So, but it's a price I'm willing to pay, because I know what happened when I chose a paycheck over my own happiness. I talk a little bit about that. So if you don't know, I do have a website, basementphilosophies.com. There's nothing really on there. It's kind of bland, but that's where I do the bulk of my writing, aside from what I try to get out in the morning in my own personal journal. I just write there things that I find important. I don't edit. I don't do anything like that, because there's this, there's something that happens where if I edit too much, then if I edit too much, there is I'll delete it. Sorry, I lost my train of thought because I was looking at this input thing on my computer, and it says AirPods, but I'm not using AirPods, so I don't know why that's there. Anyway, but yeah, so I don't edit, because then I'll edit too much, and then all of a sudden my article will turn into something else, and then I won't have an article anymore. I'll just delete it. It's much like my episodes before this one. I will just think it sucks, and I'll think it's not me, and now I do know the problem. I'm not being authentic. I'm not being me. It didn't even sound like me. It's robotic. And I'm just like, oh, well, that's not fun, And what does it matter if I'm talking about things that people don't care to hear about? But, I just kind of think I don't know, a lot of people have a lot of friends, and they talk a lot, and, they don't want to listen to anything. They want to listen to music, but I guess what I'm talking to is people that love podcasts, and maybe they don't have a lot of friends, or maybe they just want to talk. And I'm sure this is going to all turn into something more than me just talking, right? But for now, that's what it is. And I struggle with it, because what do I have to say that anyone wants to hear about? But this is not a pity party. That's not what I'm trying to do here. I just, it's just on my mind, and it's what's happening. But, maybe I'll post this one. We'll see. But anyway, you can go to my little website. It'll get overhauled one day. I don't really know anything about computers, so it is very, very basic. So if anybody wants to do that for free, or you can wait till later and I can pay you to make it pretty and make it me, that would be cool. But you can even find these episodes on there. But I'm also I will start giving links out eventually, so we'll see where it goes. But anyway, I just remember my last episode, I did a meditation, and I just was I'm trying to listen to my heart. I'm trying to not listen to my fear, and I'm trying to just talk to my heart, talk to God, talk to, whatever. I don't know what terms you want to use. People, it's a very slippery slope, right? So you believe in God, believe it, not believe in it, whatever you believe in, that's what I'm doing. Yes, I'm listening to my heart, and I like to think maybe God lives there. That's what I'm learning or wanting to kind of explore, instead of thinking God is a scary man in the sky. Because what I'm finding out is that we don't need to be looking outside of ourselves anymore. We have to take some initiative to look inside, to turn inside, because there has been times like I believe that the world is magical. I believe it's full of magic. I think humans are magic. I think we are capable of doing everything. More so for other people because, I struggle with my own self-worth, like I struggle with, having my own power. Like it's just something that has happened over the years, and that's just something that I'm working through. But I know it. I've seen it. Like people are powerful. They do powerful things. And they do amazing things. And I was just kind of exploring that. But like I've known in my life, like synchronicities are a thing that I love. And I have been looking out, like in the universe. I'll look for signs. I'll see things. And I'll just wonder, like, is this a message? Is this a message? But, like, there have been times where these messages, they've been wrong. And I think to myself, wow, it's just really, really weird. And so I'm looking for these signs. I used to look at numbers. Like, I see all these numbers, like, 333 or 444, 555. They all mean something, right? And they do. I think that's very powerful. But like, what if there's something, if there's God and there's good, then there has to be evil, right? I had this time in my life where I didn't believe in evil. Like I just wanted to believe the best in everyone. I wanted to know that they were good, all good. But the thing is not everybody's good. Not every person, like there's actual evil out there. And I think that's all going to come out at some point. Like I'm not going to go into it because everyone will think I'm nuts, right? But I'm going to tell you right here, I read some things, I see some things, and as crazy as it seems, there's some actual evil out there. Evil entities, stuff that can, really mess you up. And I went from, like, I think everybody goes through this period, maybe not, I don't know. I know I did, where I was just like, if I love enough, if there's enough light, and I just, do what I need to just love every being because, they're God's being or whatever it may be, like, then I can help change the world. But there is some evil out there, and sometimes there's nothing we can do about it. And I don't know, it was just a really eye-opening thing because not everything is love and light. And as beautiful as that sentiment is, it's not true. Like some people just suck. There is actual evil out there that people need to be, they have to open their eyes to it. And because to be blind to anything now, it's dangerous. I mean, we live in a world of censorship now in America. That I never thought I would see that. You're censored from things that people think you don't need to see. They think it's misinformation, right? At what point in our society did people that control these social media these platforms, like what makes them so smart and great to decide what is misinformation, right? So it's just like a really weird thing because not everything on the internet is true. I think we all know that, but don't you like to know that you get to decide for yourself what you want to believe? But they're trying to end that, and it's really weird because no one thinks that's really scary. And this is not a political thing. This is like an American thing, and it's just happening. It's happening right now. And to think that people are defending this, they're defending the right to, censor people's even opinions. Like, what kind of world are we living in that you can't even have an opinion if someone somewhere behind a screen in some area of the world decides they don't want that to be shown? Like, how did these people have that much power? And I mean, obviously we've let them, right? But to get to the point where you think that you're not allowed to have an opinion, that is really weird. Like, I think like it's really weird that you think it's okay for people not to have an opinion, right? Especially if you don't want to hear anybody that has an opinion that's different than yours. Like, that's really weird. And I never thought I would see that. And, I'm really against, putting myself in an echo chamber, of course. But like in this world, like, I don't believe the TV. I don't believe celebrities. I don't trust the government. No government. I don't trust any of it, but I definitely don't agree with not being able to share my opinion. And luckily, I don't have like people caring about my opinion very much, and I don't really talk to anyone, but it's nice to know I can still let it out and it's not going to be a big deal. But I'm just saying, you get to the point where, just like I said earlier, if you want, like, I don't wear a mask. I don't believe in it. It doesn't work. There's no proof that it works. There's no proof that it doesn't. Well, there's plenty of proof that it doesn't work because people are getting sick as shit from the bacteria in there because, let's face it, we're not washing our mask every day. So you're getting these weird bacterial infections. Sorry, it's a thing. Go look it up. And then you can look on the CDC website and look everywhere else. And you could see masks don't work. Go look it up. CDC.gov. They're going to tell you, we never said masks work. So why don't you just go look it up? I can link it somewhere, wherever you want me to link it. But you can go read it. Go do your research. Like, that's the thing, is people need to do their research and stop listening to the news because, that's the problem. Is like, here I am thinking, oh, well, what I say is not worthy. But, there's people on the TV telling us bullshit and we listen to it. I say we, but I don't even turn it on. I watch some mindless shows sometimes if I feel like it. But, I have homework. I have things to read. I'd rather read a book than listen to what people have to argue about on the TV. I don't have time to look at riots. I don't care about their policies. I don't care about, they want to divide the country, and I'm not okay with that. And I'm never going to be okay with that. But I'm not going to make this political. I mean, I have a little rant, of course, but it's not really political. It's like our human rights, and they're being violated, and people are just okay with it because a lot of us have an opinion that a lot of people don't like. Well, I'm not for the mainstream media. I'm not for celebrities. I don't agree with any of that. And you know what? I don't care about being an outsider because I've always been an outsider, and there's nothing new to me. What are you going to do? Can't take anything away. I can't, no, I'm not even going to go down the victim train. You can't take anything away from me right now because there's nothing to take, nothing that, you just can't. There's nothing to take. But the point is, I think we're getting to the point, or at least I am, where I have always looked outside. I've looked at books. I've looked at, teachers. I've searched and searched for, anything outside of me, and I'm not getting any answers, and it's silent, and I don't resonate with anything. So what am I doing? I'm turning in. So what's happening now that I'm turning in? Not much, because it's pretty silent in there. It's probably mad because I've ignored my heart for a better part of my life, So I think it's something that I have to work on. It's a big change, and it's a scary change, but I wrote a little bitty tiny thing about it, and I'm trying to listen to my heart, but I'm not really making any decisions. I find myself kind of scared to make the wrong one again, because it's just, I always make the wrong decision. And it's just something that keeps happening. So I guess because of fear, again, I'm sitting here and I'm like, well, if I don't make any decisions, then I can't make the wrong one, right? But I can't make the right decision if I don't make any decisions at all. So I'm going to have to start like doing something. So the best way to deal with fear is to do what you're most afraid of, right? So here I am, I'm talking, I'm doing this, even though I have no fan base, really very little, confidence. But I'm scared as shit. I don't like to be judged. No one likes to be judged. And I think that it's taken me this long because as much as I don't care about people's like judgments and opinions, like towards me, I don't. But like at the same time, and I guess this doesn't make sense, but but to me it does. It's like, don't like me, I don't care. But if you come at me and you start tearing me down, like being ugly or aggressive or violent, like that's going to affect me. Like, I don't think my skin is thick enough yet. I think you have to build that, of course. And especially, I think that in this field that I'm going to school for, you definitely have to have that, but I don't think it's really entirely there yet. And being vulnerable, that's scary. And I don't like that. But, here I am, and I like sitting here. I like talking. It makes me feel better. Like, because for someone that is in her heart creative, I don't create anything. But, and I like to paint. I do. I love painting. It's not good, but I still love it, I don't have much space here to do it, but I'm still going to bring it here. But don't say anything. But, but I do like to write, I want to write a book someday, but at the same time, do you think I've done anything to write this book? No, because I don't have an idea. And in my brain, it's like, well, you can't write unless you have an idea, but that's not necessarily true. Because I think you should just be writing every day, and then maybe you grow from that. But I don't know. I'm navigating all of this just like anyone else. Because the problem with like reading, reading these books, these self-help books, right? These people, not all, but some, they have really good intentions. Like they did something for themselves, it changed their life, and they want to help to change the lives of others. That's beautiful, and I love that. And I don't think people should stop doing it, but I think people need to realize that just because it worked for someone doesn't mean that it will work for you. And that's why you should look at my library. I love self-help books. Like, I'm not saying don't read them, because I've actually got a lot of different ideas and knowledge, and, I've grown from them. Of course, you can get some very good nuggets of wisdom from those books, but I don't think you should take it as like a gospel, because it's not going to, it might not change your life. It might not work for you the way that it worked for them. Like, because as far as like manifesting goes and all of that, like I struggle with all of that. Like, I don't manifest the way, like, I don't know if you've ever watched The Secret. I love it. I'll even watch it sometimes just to like, motivate myself. But I've watched it and nothing's ever really changed for me from that. What did change is I did my yoga practice. I meditated, even if I don't even actually know what that means. And I started taking care of myself, and that's when my life changed. Like, that's how basic it is for me. As far as manifesting goes and all that, I still don't understand it. And I want to think that maybe it's not like a one set rules that, one set of rules fits all. I think you do whatever works best for you. So, I dabble here and there. So if I ever find anything that works, like, I will definitely share that with you. But for now, it's just me struggling through my limitations, and it's just been a really, really wild ride. But yeah, so but if you want to go to my website, like I said, it's www.basementphilosophies.com. Like I said, it's not a fancy thing. It's just where I write for public. But sometimes I think messages come through and I just want to share them, and it doesn't always happen that way. I mean, here I am like redoing this whole episode for the 50 millionth time. But I did want to touch a little bit before I let you guys go. I want to touch a little bit on what that episode was about, because what I did is I did a meditation on self-righteousness, and it wasn't about that. I did a little meditation, and like I said, I'm learning to listen to my heart, and instead of my fear. Like, I don't want to say like I'm just now listening to my heart. No, it's like I'm listening to my heart instead of my fear, because I just realized I've been listening to my fear all along. Anyway, so I did this meditation, and whether it was my heart or not, I don't know. I'm still figuring it out, but it said self-righteousness, and you talk about that. And I mostly think it was my heart, because I don't use a phrase like self-righteousness. Like, I don't say that. Like, I even looked it up to make sure I knew what exactly it meant. I did, but I just had to double check, because I don't say that. I don't say self-righteousness. Hold on, I'm going to take a drink. Hold on one second. Anyway, yeah, so I hear this phrase, and I think the most important takeaway from it is that what I meant to say is you don't, and we've kind of been talking about it here, don't take what other people say, for gospel. And by all means, because you believe something in your very core, you can believe it so much, but don't force those beliefs on anyone else. Like, don't. Like, and if someone disagrees with you, who cares? I hear families now breaking up because of politics. People that probably suck in real life. These people, politicians, especially these now, they're probably the most evil, most corrupt people, and everybody's choosing one that they want to, side with, and they're giving up on their families because of it. That is the craziest thing I have ever heard. That's like, my aunt, she wears masks. She follows the rules, and I respect that about her. Like, look, wear a mask. I mean, but respect that I don't. But that would be like me being like, I'm sorry, aunt. I cannot talk to you anymore until you agree that masks are stupid. Absolutely not. If that mask makes her feel safer, then that is her prerogative, and I respect it. But it's got to go both ways. And now people are picking between these politicians who are probably all corrupt and terrible, and they're shitting on their family members. They're actually cutting them out of their life, and it is the most insane thing I've ever heard. Like, you don't agree with me, so you have to leave now? Oh my gosh. Me and my boyfriend, we're similar in some ways, but mostly we're different. And we don't agree on a lot. Just think, like, if I wasn't with him because he wasn't exactly like me. If he was exactly like me, I would be so bored, It's just crazy how we've turned into a world where you have to follow, one narrative. That's insane. And I'm here to tell you that it's okay to question things. It's okay for things not to make sense. And if you want to voice that, that's okay too. But, to cancel your family because they don't agree with you, that's insane. That's spoiled. And you don't need to do that. You need to learn to coexist with people that don't agree with you. Because that's how the world works. People are different. There's not one person on this planet that is any different than, or no, I said that wrong. There's not one person on this planet that is the same. And to try to get the masses to follow this one specific narrative, that's insane. To try to get anybody to agree with you 100%, that's insane. So just stop. Just stop. Just don't even do that. Believe what you want to. Stand behind it with everything you've got. And don't let anybody persuade you. Don't let anybody sway that opinion that you stand for. And it doesn't matter what it's for. I believe a lot of things. I believe a lot of things that people don't. A lot of people think I'm crazy. Like, I have a lot of crap that comes out of my mouth and everybody's like, oh God, you're nuts, But do you think I care? No, I don't care. Because I read, I research, and I believe what I want to. And because I read, because I research, I have some hope. I have some hope there. Because if the world is like it seems and is the way it is, I would hate that right now. I would have lost, and there was a point in my life where I did lose all hope. And then I started researching and I'm like, something's not right here. Like, I don't feel right. Something's not right. And then, and at that point, I had no outlets. I didn't know. I wasn't really looking at anything. I just knew that something was not right. And so I looked, and there was a girl on my Instagram. It's Christina _ Sutra. And if you really want to know, I can send you the link. You just contact me. I got my Instagram or my website. But I can give you the actual, her page. But it was her. She posted a story on her Instagram, and it was this video of this guy that I had never heard of because, I just, I was doing my own thing. I didn't really care to hear anything. But, he was talking about, I'm not going to say the name because a lot of people don't like him and they think he's crazy and corrupt or whatever they want to think of him. So I'm not going to say the name. But I will tell you, I listened to this video. It was about COVID-19 and what's really going on. And then that led me down a whole big rabbit hole of lots of rabbit holes, not just one. And then everything's been different for me ever since. And that happened in April. And here we are, and I'm still, researching, and, there are some things I agree with, some things I don't. But the one thing I do know is that my opinion is mine, and no one gets to take that away from me. You can say all the ugly, mean things that you want, and you can do all of that, but it doesn't matter. I'm still going to have them. It's mine. It's, why I'm here. I get to be myself no matter what. And that's, been my problem all along. I've been scared to be myself. And you know what? Myself is weird. And I'm going to be this person. And it's just, anybody gets to decide if they want to listen to it or not. But at the end of the day, I don't want to cause any trouble. I'm very accepting. I'm normal. I'm normal in the sense where, I want my relationship to go smoothly. I don't want people to be mean to me, which, people have been mean to me my whole life. But, I don't want my boyfriend to be mean to me. I don't want my family to be mean to me. Like the simple things. Because all in all, I do get my feelings hurt. I'm very sensitive, and then, I want to surround myself with people that are positive and happy. One of the best things in my life is having a boyfriend that is happy in the morning time, because it really does make my day better. And I should really tell him that when he walks in the door, because it really does. Because I'm pretty sure my crappy attitude, it doesn't fix anything. But knowing him and him waking up and, being happy for a new day, my gosh, that has changed my perspective on a lot of stuff. I think we should take the time to just really focus on what we're grateful for, how our lives are changing, and, and really stand behind what we believe in, not in an aggressive way, not in a mean way, not in a violent way. Just, hey, this is what I believe. Just back off. Like, who cares what I believe? Why does it affect you so much? Because your own mental health, it's up to you. And no one should have the power to change that. Like, there was a headline I saw, like, Whoopi Goldberg said that President Trump has caused her depression. That means she's weak. She's weak because nobody should ever be able to cause your depression. And depression's real. I'm not saying that. She never experienced it because that's not how it works. People don't cause depression. It happens to you. And if there is someone in your life, I'm not saying like, oh, if you're mad, and someone makes you mad, that's okay. Like, that's normal, right? But if you have actual honest depression, but you're blaming that on someone else, that's not someone else's fault. You need to look at yourself. I'm not saying it's your fault either. It's nobody's fault, right? You just got to look at yourself. You got to really figure out like what that is, because I promise you it's not external. It's all internal. And I'm learning that more and more every single day. So if you're unhappy, if you're miserable, you need to take some time to sit and whenever you start blaming, like with the first thing you blame, look at that and see, and kind of just dissect it. That's the only like really advice I can give you. I mean, I'm no expert. I just know that's what I did. It's helping, and I'm less triggered by the outside world. And I think that's the whole purpose, to begin with, to live in peace. We all want peace, right? We all want to be happy, I think. And so whatever's bothering you, just kind of like look at it, kind of dissect it. And if it's just an emotion that you don't feel like feeling, well, I think you should give it a little time and feel that emotion so you can let it go, because you do carry that around, and it can really make you unhealthy. It can really make you sick. Anyway, that's it. All I have for today, I think. I really like this episode. I said what I needed, and it feels really better than the last 7 million that I did. So let's just keep going. Let's see what happens. I love you all, and I will be here next week for sure. And I'm just going to make it happen because I work on myself every day so that I can help you work on yours. I love you. Bye.